As fires rage and decimate people's homes, people's lives, people have died in these fires. It's serious. And what does the Republican Party do? Do they decide, you know what, this is our moment, we're going to lead? No. They sit around and point fingers and make blame and make everything political, rather than just getting to the work to get things done for the people of California, even Trumpers like James Woods, who lost his house. Donald Trump was in the Senate yesterday, outside the Senate chamber. It's the same hallway that Mitch McConnell froze for his 90-second little nap with his eyes open a few months ago. And spewed lie after lie. I'm going to play the clip. You could skip ahead. There'll be a timer on it. But it is seriously just to continue with the metaphor of fires. It's just a fire hose of lying for over a minute straight. And then I'm going to talk about a little about what he says, but I'm going to address his lies from the Gavin Newsom press office Twitter account, which really just lays bare the insanity of Donald Trump going to be president again, going to be in a position to disseminate money, distribute money when there's natural disasters. And he'll do what he did last time, punish blue states, punish areas where there's a large number of Democrats, and then open up the floodgates, continue with the water metaphor, of relief money for, states like Texas who can't, organize their power grid correctly. But, the federal government will bail them out. Here's Donald Trump. Get ready. I mean, if you want to skip ahead because you can't stand his stupid fucking voice or face, I understand. But for the rest of you, here's this clip.
On California, Mr. President, during the pandemic, you often said that you didn't believe that you should bail out blue states that you believe were being mismanaged. Given your criticism of Governor Gavin Newsom, are you willing to work with him, and do you believe that federal aid should be provided to California for as long as it takes?
Well, it's very sad because I've been trying to get Gavin Newsom to allow water to come. You'd have tremendous water up there. They send it out to the Pacific because they're trying to protect a tiny little fish, which is in other areas, by the way, called a smelt. And for the sake of a smelt, they have no water. They had no water in the fire hydrants today in Los Angeles. It was a terrible thing. And we're going to get that done. It's going to finally be done. I got it done from the federal side, and he didn't want to sign it, but it's not going to happen again like that. There's no reason. Can you imagine? You have farmers that don't have any water in California. They have plenty of water. They don't have a drought. They send it out to the Pacific, and it's crazy. So what's happening in California is a true tragedy. I know those areas very well. I have many friends living in those houses. That is a true tragedy. Nobody ever thought. I mean, virtually Beverly Hills and areas around Beverly Hills are being decimated. The biggest homes, some of the most valuable homes in the world are just destroyed. I don't even know. You talk about a tax base. If those people leave, you're going to lose half your tax base of California. This is a true tragedy, and it's a mistake of the governor, and you could say the administration. They don't have any water. They didn't have water in the fire hydrants. They don't have water. And yet they have, the water comes from, where? Up north. And it comes down at levels, they give millions and millions of barrels of gallons of water that they have, and they send it out into the Pacific. For the Pacific, it's like a drop, it's nothing. But for California, it would take care of the whole state. So what's happened is a tragedy, and the governor has not done a good job. With that being said, I got along well with him when he was governor. We worked together very well, and we would work together. I guess it looks like we're going to be the one having to rebuild it. But what happened there, I don't think there's anything that I've ever seen quite like it. And the insurance companies are going to have a big problem because you're talking about big, big dollars.
As he laments having to do his job, I guess we're going to have to rebuild it. I guess federal dollars will have to do what the federal government is here to do. It's your job, Trump. If you didn't want to do your job, you shouldn't have run for president again. We know you don't want to do your job, and that's not why you ran for president. You ran for president to extricate yourself from the many cases that imperiled your freedom, and the American people saw fit to let you off the hook. A lot here that's nonsense. I got it done from the federal side, but he didn't want to sign it. if you got it done, then it was done. Does a governor override the signing of federal aid money? What are you talking about, Donald Trump? Talking about virtually Beverly Hills. It would have to cross the 405, the fire, and it's not even at risk of doing that. Beverly Hills is inland. It's not on the coast. It's not an adjacent neighborhood to Pacific Palisades, Donald Trump. All these people you know so well. Here is from Gavin Newsom's press office on Twitter, a fact check in real time in response to a tweet of this particular video I just showed you from C-SPAN, but it was a Fox News clip. Trump is conflating two entirely unrelated things: the conveyance of water to Southern California and supply from local storage. And again, there is no such document as the Water Restoration Declaration. This is pure fiction. Continues with an additional tweet, a reply tweet. Los Angeles Department of Water and Power said that because of the high water demand, pump stations at lower elevations did not have enough pressure to refill tanks at higher elevations, and the ongoing fire hampered the ability of crews to access the pumps. To supplement, they used water tenders to supply water, a common tactic in wildland firefighting. But broadly speaking, there is no water shortage in Southern California right now, despite Trump's claims that he would open some imaginary spigot. In terms of water reliability and water supply at this moment in Southern California, things are looking pretty solid, said Mike McNutt of the Las Virgenes Municipal Water District, which serves 75,000 people in northwest Los Angeles County. Orange County Water District Chief, hydrogeologist Roy Herndon said his agency, which supplies groundwater to the north half of the county, has enough supply to carry its 2.5 million customers through the worst of any potential droughts, multiple years in a row with minimal rainfall. Quote, 3 years, no problem. I'd say even 5 years, Herndon said. And then finally, quote, the Metropolitan Water District of Southern California, which serves 19 million people, mostly with imported water, also has an abundance with a record 3.8 million acre feet of water in storage. According to interim general manager Devin Eppenhay, sorry, not good with some names, who issued a statement last week, there's enough water to supply 40 million people for a year. So rather than deal with reality on reality's terms, rather than actually lead like a leader, like a president of the United States, or giving a little fairness here, since Trump isn't in power yet, the president-elect, Donald Trump decides to attack, to lay blame for the fire or the lack of getting the fire under control. Sometimes fires rage. And right now in California, as a former California resident for more than a decade, having lived in this area, I lived in Orange County, California, the Santa Ana winds are insane oftentimes this time of year. Firefighters are fighting fires in 99-mile-an-hour winds, hurricane-strength winds that just fuel and intensify those fires. No amount of water in the world is going to make their jobs easier. Certainly, it's not good that water pressure dipped, but they're dealing with it like always. What do you think? I would love to know. Sorry to put you through a Trump clip, but it's what it is. We got 4 more years of this, so get used to skipping ahead. What do you think? You can comment below. You can also call the voicemail line, 714-576-4054. Of course, you can email me daily at dollemore.com. I do want to hear from you. Please consider supporting this work, becoming a channel member for $2 a month, helping me produce this content, reaching the millions of people that I do every month. I would appreciate it. Click the join button below. Channel membership is open. You can also go to my Patreon page, patreon.com/IDoubtIt podcast. I love and appreciate you very much. Be genuine. Take care of one another.